Hi! So are you an oddball who thinks he's an alien forgotten by the mothership on Earth? Or maybe you're going through your middle life crisis and you have no idea what there is left to do on this life. This movie may be for you. Hi, welcome to Light Screening, the channel for movie lovers more than movie savvies. My name is Gisela Cruz. I'm Portuguese. I'm a former journalist, a former PR, a former loser, current positive thinker and entrepreneur, and obviously a student and a lover of all arts and especially the movies. And today I'm going to talk to you about Where'd You Go, Bernadette? This is the story of this middle-aged woman who's a mother and who may or may not have a mental illness, who may or may not be antisocial, who may or may not be menace to society. So this is a movie starred by Cate Blanchett, the wonderful 2-time Oscar winner Cate Blanchett. Cate Blanchett always does these movies that go deep into the human soul, or at least a lot of them do. Think of Blue Jasmine or Carol or even Elizabeth. This is no exception. This is an adaptation of a novel by Maria Semple. This woman has credits, TV credits to her name. She wrote some of the episodes of Beverly Hills, of Mad About You, Ellen, Arrested Development. She's got a big career. This is directed by Richard Linklater. Think Boyhood or Spy Kids or the Sunset Trilogy or Fast Food Nation. So this is about Bernadette. So Bernadette, who is she? First we find out that she's a mother of a teenager. She's married to this gorgeous workaholic played by Billy Crudup. She's the owner of a house in ruins with some artsy details. Then we start finding a little bit more about her. She's a bit of an oddball. She's kind of soft-hearted in some matters. She's actually an architect. She's actually sort of a little genius. She relies on technology and on a virtual assistant to keep her connection to the world. And we keep finding out these little details about Bernadette. We find out that she had this big career as an architect. She's too honest for the real world. So this is a movie, basically a journey of discovery of this woman, this wonderful woman, this genius of architecture who's not very well in the world. She's not okay. And why isn't she okay? I mean, is it just personality? Is it grief? Is she mentally ill? Is she a human wreck beyond salvation? So this is the question, and we keep finding these little details about Bernadette. Okay, I'm not going to reveal anything else about the script because it is a journey into the human soul, almost. I found it, I gotta say, the critics, the reviews I read and the reviews I've seen, the critics are not very thrilled about this movie. They say that, let me consult my notes. They say that there are too many mingled feelings and it turns a quirky character into something conventional. This is some of the reviews I've read. Well, I think that is interesting enough. Although the script, it's how can I put this? It's a little bit, it's got a middle plot that is too explanatory all of a sudden, and the resolution, it's a little bit too Hollywood, okay? It's like, okay, I'm going to believe that is possible, that you would do that people would do that, okay? I'm not talking about the trip, I'm talking about the way the trip is done. Anyway, you'll get it if you see it. I found the script interesting enough. I found that the performance by Cate Blanchett is flawless, especially Cate Blanchett. I found the character really interesting and compelling. I want to know more about her. I keep wanting to know more about her. I think she's interesting to me. And I think that there is a competent direction, a competent cast. And I like the beautiful moral conclusion and the conclusion of the movie and what they all decide that that Bernadette is about. I think it's a beautiful resolution. It speaks to me. So maybe, just maybe, with this movie, the oddballs can kind of look into themselves, you know, search their own soul and kind of try to figure out how to adapt devastation even, or try to figure out what do they need to actually live life on their terms. So it's a chance to discuss these matters, I think. I also think it's for those people who raised the kid and all of a sudden they're kind of growing up. They have their own personalities, they have their own things going on, and you kind of go like, where did life go? Okay, so there's a little bit of that too. Not about that, but a little bit of that too. So all in all, I found this movie really interesting. I gotta say, I found the journey really interesting. I'm looking at my notes, see if there's something that I have missed, but no. It's for the oddballs, it's for the artists, it's for the people that are not completely okay with the world, or maybe they are too sensitive for this world, or maybe they are too honest for this world. I think it's an interesting journey, an interesting woman to get to know. Not a movie that is unforgettable, but I had fun and I found it interesting, so I recommend it. Okay, about the blast from the past. Well, I thought of a movie that is also kind of an exercise of identity versus conformity. What's mental illness? What isn't mental illness? What do people perceive as mental illness? What is just you searching for your place in the world? What is allowed for you to be if you're different, you know? So I thought about Girl Interrupted. Actually, Angelina Jolie had a nomination for Best Actress, for Best Supporting Role. I'm sorry, for Best Supporting Role with this role. I found the movie. It's with Winona Ryder. The director is James Mangold. Really interesting movie. It's from 1999, and I think that it's worth seeing for anyone who has this issue, you know, who's not completely comfortable, who likes to be a little different, and sometimes it's not easy to be different in this world, and it doesn't mean that you're crazy, or does it? You know, it's an interesting discussion to have. These are two movies that kind of get into that, so if you're interested on this subject, I absolutely recommend them both. If you think that what I'm saying makes any sort of sense, please don't forget to subscribe. Also, comment. It would be nice to have any comments. What do you think about Cate Blanchett? And what do you think about Angelina Jolie or Winona Ryder? Have you seen this movie? It would be interesting to know. And go to the movies, obviously.